Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our March wellness session on natural solutions for skincare. For those of you who are new, my name is Joanne Carr. I'm the director of Oasis, which is our education department here at Omega Alpha. And if you have any questions throughout this morning's presentation, please don't hesitate to write your questions out in the chat or the Q&A. You do not need to wait till the end of the presentation to ask questions. You can ask them as we go along, and I will stop at that time and do my best to answer your questions. Also, I will be sending you a link to this recording along with a copy of the presentation tomorrow. So please watch your inboxes to get this information for future reference. When we talk about skincare, and beauty from the inside out, what we eat, what we drink, supplements we take, the environment, that all has an effect on our skin. Are we prematurely aging? Are we not? Do we look younger than our biological age? And we're going to look at ways that we can do that using supplements, of course. And at the very end, as I always do, we're going to look at our strategy slide and look at how we can use these supplements together if you're taking medications and other things like that. So before we actually get into the supplement portion, I just want to take a look at about the skin. There are things you may already be aware of, and maybe you'll take something away from this morning's presentation that you didn't know before. So the skin is our largest organ in the body. It's our largest organ of detoxification, and it really reflects what's going on inside our health, whether it's physical, whether we're looking at mental stress, spiritually, all of these combine to really reflect what's going on. And, again, I mentioned very briefly about what we eat and drink and things like that. That's only some of the things. These are some of the things that can affect the health of our skin. So our skin is made up of three layers: the epidermis, the dermis, and the hypodermis. All three vary significantly in their anatomy and how they work. So the epidermis is our upper layer of skin. It's responsible for many of the barrier functions of the skin to keep, viruses and bacteria and things that could potentially make us ill, or affect the skin, the immune system, and so forth. The dermis is the nutritive support network underneath the epidermis. So basically feeding the skin, keeping it healthy, or maybe not feeding it enough, and maybe it's not so healthy. The hypodermis expands and contracts to help keep the body at a constant temperature. So a reduction of tissue in this layer causes your skin to sag, and we see that occurring quite often as people get older. The skin cycle takes an average of 4 to 6 weeks. And as we age, the skin cycle gets longer, increasing the duration of the dead skin cells on the surface. So again, as we get older, these things happen. And so quite often we look at preventative health with regards to the skin. And we always like to educate on prevention. Unfortunately, most people wait until there's something wrong before they call us or before they start to, check out Google or see how they can improve their health in any given situation. So, what can impact our skin health? Genetics. We don't have to be what our parents or grandparents went through. We can definitely make changes there. Smoking, we all hear about smoking, drinking, any medications that we may be taking. And we do need to take medications sometimes, but if we've been on medications for a longer period of time, that could impact our skin. Any endocrine diseases, hormonal issues, our diet, which I mentioned briefly earlier. If you're eating a lot of saturated foods, a lot of things coming from animal proteins, or anything that can create more inflammation in the body can affect our skin. Our gut health. Our gut is linked to every system, really, not just how we're digesting and absorbing nutrients, but our gut health can also affect how we breathe, the health of our skin, and so forth. Stress is very important to deal with, and I think everybody deals with stress to some degree or another. Some people deal with more stress than others, but learning how to cope with stress, whether it's physical activity, learning how to relax, these are some of the things that can really help reduce potential skin issues as well as we deal with stressful situations in our lives. Hydration, drinking enough water daily keeps our skin cells plump, keeps our skin moist, and we tend to see less fine lines and wrinkles when we keep our bodies hydrated. Sun exposure and protection, we've all heard about that, and making sure that we're slathering on anything that can protect us from the sun's rays. When we look at sunscreen, very important. Supplements, which we're going to be looking at and focusing on this morning, and deficiencies, so nutritional deficiencies, if we're lacking in antioxidants and nutrients that can support the health of our skin, like vitamin C and vitamin E, for as an example. And there's other vitamins and nutrients that can also affect the skin. If we're not getting enough from our diet, that could negatively affect our skin and basically sloughing off some of those dead skin cells. So now we're going to look at a number of different products today that can help support the skin from the inside out, keeping in mind that we also have to look at dietary factors as well, and we can't just pop a few pills and then all of a sudden, miraculously, we look 5 or 10 years younger. When we look at skin support and anti-aging and things like that, it's a pretty booming business in this industry. And, everybody wants to look younger than, well, most people want to look younger than their age. And we're looking at men and women, not just women. Aesthetics are very important to men as they are for women as well. So this particular formula, the Antiox Beauty, contains 11 different antioxidants that work together, not just to support the health of the skin, many of them, but some to support prostate health and some to support the immune system, some to support prostate health. So we've got support for both genders in this very comprehensive approach. So we're going to look at my features and benefits slide gives you information in bullet points, which I find many people like. They just want to look at what are the features and benefits of this product? How will it benefit me at the end of the day is basically what people want to know. So this is a very cost-effective approach to supporting our skin. If you were to go out and purchase each of these antioxidants separately, you would pay close to $100. But this is costs a third of that. So anywhere from $35 to support not only your skin, but different organ systems within the body. When you look at multi-ingredients and the dosages are decent amounts, you're getting protection for the entire body. But antioxidants, you may or may not have heard that term being used. Antioxidants help kind of cool off the system. And if you've got inflammation occurring within the skin, for example, if you suffer with psoriasis or eczema or acne or anything like that, this would be an excellent choice. And of course, when you take antioxidants, they can help prevent premature aging, which many people are looking to do. And there's no time. You can start at any time. We've got teenagers taking this. You don't have to wait until you start developing wrinkles or fine lines or your skin starting to sag or for whatever reason. You've got this support regardless of your age. And there is science to support the fact that when we're looking at antioxidants, that they do work together or synergistically, and they're far more effective than just taking, for example, ginkgo biloba or ginseng by itself. You've got more support when you have 11 different antioxidants together in one formula than just taking one at a time. And taking one at a time doesn't ensure that you're supporting your entire body versus taking an 11 ingredient formula. This is where we see a more comprehensive approach when we take a number of antioxidants together versus just one. Now, if you're the type of person that likes to see more scientific research, please let me know and I can send you all the science where we base our formulations on. We've got science that supports all of our formulations. So whether you're using it for the skin, whether it's photo aging or, sunburn can really degrade the health of the skin as well. The ultraviolet rays from the sun can really do damage to our skin, as we already know. We can support our liver with this formula, prostate, our blood, our heart health, blood sugar management. This product can help with blood sugar as well. Our brain, many people wait until they start forgetting things and then they look for something that's going to help their brain. But this can help with the brain as well. Any type of joint issues, our immune system. So the sky's the limit with Antiox Beauty. You'll find this product usually situated in the beauty or skin support area of a health food store, but it is very good for more than just the skin. But this is one of the best ones, I would suggest for improving skin health. And again, we suggest to take one capsule twice a day with food. Being realistic, you're not going to see improvements in your skin in a couple of days. Usually, it can quite often take months before you start to see some improvements. It takes a while for our skin to start sagging or for us to start looking older. So it's going to take some time to replenish and plump up those skin cells. So please don't, if you're expecting miracles overnight, that's not what's going to happen with these supplements. They're meant to be taken for at least a couple of months before you see some improvements. And some people will see them before others, depending on the nature of your skin issues ultimately. Now, we do have a product called Collagen Beauty, which has, vitamins and minerals that help to support skin elasticity. We've got some collagen that really, again, you start to see collagen in a lot of skin support formulas out there. But this product can help our skin, it can help our hair, nails, bones. So, when we look at aesthetics, again, looking younger, again, reducing the fine lines and wrinkles. We've got herbs that support the endocrine system as well, when we're looking at hormonal imbalances. And if you can remember one of the first slides, we look at the endocrine system and how if that's compromised in any way, generally speaking, again, looking at teenagers who develop acne. And then we have adults, people who have never had acne before, and they might notice that their skin is breaking out when they get older. So acne can affect every age category. We do tend to see it more so in teenagers because the hormones are running rampant, out of balance, and quite often we'll see that reflected through the skin. We also have people that are dealing with psoriasis and eczema and other skin related, any kind of dermatitis or inflammation of the skin. Anything that will affect the skin, the Collagen Beauty can also be very substantial or very health promoting for the skin. We've got those antioxidants, vitamin C and vitamin E, that I briefly mentioned earlier, that are very well known for supporting the skin. Hyaluronic acid helps plump up skin cells, and you'll see it in a lot of creams that people will use topically. If you are using anything topical to support the health of your skin, you can also take a supplement that you ingest as well as a topical ointment. So you don't have to use one or the other. You can actually use both. And so we look at Collagen Beauty. It has some antioxidant benefits, but the added collagen and hyaluronic acid that you will not find in the Antiox Beauty that we looked at first. This product is great for, just like the Antiox Beauty, for supporting the hair, nail growth, the skin. It can help improve skin tone and elasticity because of the added hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid is also good for joints. It's a lubricant, so it lubricates the skin as it will lubricate the joints as well. It can help increase skin hydration. If people are not getting enough fluid, if they're not drinking enough water, any type of liquid, then we start to see the health of the skin change. So this can help increase skin hydration. We still encourage people to drink at least 6 to 8 glasses of water a day if possible. That will only help the situation. Improves natural collagen reproduction with the added collagen in here. And we're seeing collagen as a buzzword now for skin health. It's not new. It's something that's been out for years. So we've added it to this Collagen Beauty formula. One of the advantages of using any hyaluronic acid based formula in the omega alpha lines is that we use what you call a short chain hyaluronic acid, and that will be absorbed quicker by your body and will be absorbed into the body's skin, tissues, and joints. So you'll see a quicker acting or quicker results when you use a short chain hyaluronic acid versus a longer chain hyaluronic acid. Also, the synergistic combination of ingredients, just like the Antiox Beauty, you'll find that the majority of our products that we make in all three product lines are what we call synergistic, and you've got more than just one single ingredient. So you've got more support for that part of the body. Now, we do suggest taking it 2 to 3 hours away from medications. I will talk about that at the end. We normally recommend that for all of our supplements just to be safe. So we recommend it to improve the health of your hair, your nails, your skin. hydrating your skin. If you suffer with wrinkles or if you're dealing with hormonal imbalances, we've got some maca in here. We've got nutrients that support the endocrine system and helping with collagen reproduction, because that's important that we try to reproduce collagen, and we need to get certain nutrients to do that. You can either take collagen itself, or you can take specific vitamins and minerals that will work together to help increase collagen production. And we do have those combination nutrients in the collagen beauty from the mineral and vitamin perspective. So we suggest taking 2 capsules once a day with food. If you're not the type of person that if you forget to take your supplements, we suggest taking them together. But optimally, it's best to take supplements in divided doses, morning and night. But again, it depends on the individual. Some people forget to take them, so as long as they're getting them daily, you will start to see improvements. And again, with this product as well, much like with the Antiox Beauty, please don't expect miracles overnight. It might take a month or two or more to start seeing some improvement, especially when we're looking at wrinkles and saggy skin and things like that. But this is just another approach where we've added some collagen and we've added some hyaluronic acid, and depending on what you may be currently taking, this might be the better choice for you. Omega 3s come from fish oil and they come from plant sources as well. But omega 3s are very good for the skin. They're very good for the skin because they help control inflammation. So, in situations where we have dermatitis or inflammation of the skin, omega 3s are, especially the threes, not so much the sixes and the nines, but the omega 3s are anti inflammatory in nature. And when we look at improving the skin cell's ability to hold water, especially as we're getting older, omega 3s can help with that. Healthy skin cells have what we call healthy membranes, and it makes them more resistant to free radical attack, or toxins or things that can damage the skin cells, like the sun. So as we get older, the ability of our skin cells, or the healthy membranes, become less healthy and less able to protect our skin. So you might find that you might want to include an omega 3. And omega 3s are not just good for their skin, they're good for our brain, they're good for osteoarthritis. They're just another approach to controlling inflammation. And you'll find that in all of our supplements, whether you choose vitamins, minerals, or herbals, they all have that ability to control inflammation to a certain degree. So at the end of the day, omega 3s helps keep our skin cells healthy, or the membranes really healthy, and keep water and nutrients in while allowing waste products to pass out. So it's kind of like a detoxing through the skin, I guess you could say. So the next product that we're going to look at today is the omega 3, high potency omega 3 supplement. And this is basically a fish-based formula. We've got a combination of small fish, anchovy, mackerel, and sardine with some vitamin E. It's not uncommon to find vitamin E as a natural preservative or a natural antioxidant to maintain the integrity of the oil in the formula. Now, this is a soft gel, so you would ingest this. Now, if you're looking, if you like smaller capsules, this is a pretty large soft gel. So what you can do is you can poke a hole in the soft gel if you don't like swallowing large pills, or if you have children and you want them to get the benefits of omega 3, then you can poke a hole in the soft gel and you can squeeze the oil out into cereal or a protein shake or a smoothie. And that's another way of getting all the benefits from the oil. So fish oil basically has active ingredients just like herbals do. The active ingredients in fish oil, it's called EPA and DHA, and they're what help to control inflammation, to keep the skin healthy or to keep the brain healthy. And so when you break down the amount of EPA and DHA in this particular fish oil supplement, you've got 400 milligrams of the EPA and 200 milligrams of the DHA. Again, when you're looking at getting certain amounts, you have a breakdown on the label itself. It will have this on the label that you'll be able to see. So this is a great way of getting omega-3 from fish oil to help reduce inflammation, especially when we're talking about skin issues today. Reducing inflammation, especially when we're looking at acne, psoriasis, eczema, or anything that really affects the skin. Or there's going to be a certain level of inflammation there. But we're not only, again, I know this is a presentation targeting skin health today, but you can also use fish oils for the brain, for hormones, for our endocrine system. And we molecularly distill all of our fish oils. So we remove any potential toxins or PCBs, any heavy metals that tend to be evident whenever we're looking at fish oil. So we go through all of this process where we manufacture, where on site in Toronto we manufacture everything, and we go through a process whereby we take the oil and we reduce to an oil that you've got that's very pure, where you do not have these PCBs or heavy metals. And so we go through all of that rigorous testing before we can even send out fish oil supplements. Also, when we're looking at cardiovascular health and people who are dealing with cholesterol issues, we highly recommend fish oils for people who are suffering with cholesterol issues as well. Now, the breakdown is based on age. So for children 1 to 8 years of age, one capsule twice a day. What I do suggest, again, especially for children who can't swallow large pills, or even for adults who don't like to do that, just to poke a hole in that soft gel capsule and push out the oil into food or shakes or whatever you like to drink. Adults 9 to 18 years of age, and we do one capsule 2 to 3 times a day. So that's basically what we recommend. If you take too much of any of these supplements, the worst case scenario is that you will notice your stool is getting looser. And that's the worst case scenario if somebody takes too much of these oils or any of these herbal based or vitamin or mineral based formulas. That's the absolute worst case scenario when we look to in consuming too much, because that's something that many people are concerned about, especially if you may already be taking a multivitamin mineral that has some of the vitamins and minerals in our collagen beauty. Too much and a looser stool, again, that's the worst case scenario. The liver, and looking at supporting the health of the liver. A lot of people don't realize that our liver is linked to the health of our skin. So our skin is the largest organ of the body. I mentioned earlier, it performs several important roles. It acts as a barrier, as I mentioned. It also provides assistance to the liver, the kidneys, and the intestines in waste removal. So if you start to notice some changes in the health of your skin, it could be that your liver is congested or your kidneys are congested and they're not able to do their job properly. So the skin will, again, toxins will be released via the skin. And then we'll be able to see, hey, there's something going on here. Why is my skin changing? Maybe it's getting dry, maybe it's getting oilier. These are some of the things that we watch for. And that could be an indication that our liver just needs to be gently supported. And the liver has so many jobs associated with it. It's responsible for cleansing toxins, herbs, and drugs from the body. And so sometimes we just need to give it a gentle nudge. And so the next formula we're going to talk about is going to really help with that. And when people talk about hormonal imbalances, skin issues, quite often I'll suggest to deal with the liver if they've never cleansed the liver before. Supports the health of the skin from the inside out, basically. So the liver flush is a formula that we recommend to flush the liver. And as you can see, the names of the products give you a general idea of what the products can do for you. So the liver flush helps support normal liver functions, whether it's digestion, whether it's supporting the health of the skin, whether it's regulating hormones. This is a great place to go because it's a very gentle cleanse. So you will never experience any purging side effects when you take a product like liver flush. And that's why people come back to this particular formula. Our flush products are very gentle, and we see a lot of people coming back to them, whether they're younger or older. It doesn't matter the age. Dosing is based on a 150-pound individual. So we suggest taking 2 tablespoons a day. You can divide it up and take 1 tablespoon in the morning, one at night, or you can start with a lower dose. You don't have to start with what's on the label. When you take our supplements, you can start with a lower dose and work your way up. Because when we talk about cleansing, quite often people are very fearful because they don't know what's going to happen. Maybe you've had a bad experience in the past with a liver cleanse or a kidney cleanse or whatever the case might be, and you're a little bit more hesitant. You can start off with a lower dose. And that's not just for the liver flush, that also could ring true for any of the other supplements that we manufacture. So, we talk about increasing bile excretion. For people who don't have a gallbladder, this would be a safe option. If you have digestive issues, this would be a great option. If you have eczema or psoriasis, yes, any skin related issue. Now, what I will say is that you might notice your skin getting worse before it gets better when you look at a product that's like this for cleansing. So you might find if you have eczema or acne, it might get worse for a short period of time, but within 7 to 10 days, you should see an improvement. Highly recommend trying to consume those 6 to 8 glasses of water a day, especially when you're cleansing the liver. Very important because water will help with the detoxification process, waste removal, and all of that. It will help your chances that much more. Now, the liver holds anger. So, when we're looking at traditional Chinese medicine, and our formulas are based on traditional Chinese medicine and Western medicine, you might find that you might be more angry than normal. Not everybody experiences this. I just kind of throw it out there just in case it happens to you. Everybody reacts differently to our formulations. But if you do find that you're a little bit more angry or quick tempered when you're taking a liver flush, this can happen. You can reduce the dose. I just wanted to make everybody aware of this. Because there are subtle changes in our behavior sometimes when we take this flush products. Everybody's different, so it may or may not even happen to each and every one of you. So, whether it's a hormonal imbalance, a digestive issue, gallbladder disorder, skin issues, if you suffer with fatty liver, elevated liver enzymes, painful periods for the women who are joining us this morning, acne, post chemotherapy for people with cancer, people who are dealing with cholesterol issues or high toxic exposure in a job, for example, this would be a really good supplement. But for skin issues, I highly recommend it as a cleansing formula. And again, you don't have to start with the 2 tablespoons a day. You can start with a teaspoon and work your way up. Once the bottle is done, you've completed cleansing your liver. So once the bottle is done, you can move on to something else. So whether you take it for 2 weeks, 30 days, or longer, once that bottle is empty, you can move along. You can take another bottle if you want, or move on to something else. Now, this is the slide I mentioned earlier where we talk about strategy. And I find that everything in life has a strategy, so this is no different. How we take our supplements can make a big difference. And, technically, these products could all be taken at the same time. There's nothing wrong with doing that. They can be combined safely. Our formulas have been produced or manufactured that way. But I always like to suggest starting with a single formula and seeing how that works for you. We recommend the liver flush every 6 months for people who are healthy. But if you are dealing with skin related issues, you could take the liver flush or the liver plus, which is a capsule, and you can take that for months at a time as you need to. The Antiox Beauty, the first product we looked at this morning, can be used on its own or combined with other formulas for additional support. So, for example, some people don't like taking liquids, so your choices could be Antiox Beauty, Collagen Beauty, or the high potency fish oil. You may not even want to take the liver flush. You could take the liver plus instead because it's a capsule. The Collagen Beauty can be used on its own or combined with any of the other formulas. For example, if you're dealing with cholesterol issues and you want to support your skin, you could use the high potency fish oil with the Collagen Beauty or the Antiox Beauty if you want. All of the formulas will reduce inflammation. High potency fish oil, liver flush, collagen beauty, antiox beauty, they all will reduce inflammation with regards to the skin. The liver flush should be taken for at least 30 days, unless, of course, you're taking two tablespoons a day. It will last you 2 weeks, but we recommend, as a complete liver cleanse, 30 days, and that way you'll know that you've really supported your liver during that 30-day time frame. Your skin may get worse, as I mentioned before it gets better, but continue on. Please consume water, 6 to 8 glasses. That will help the cause, so to speak. You can use these supplements preventatively, in acute, short-term, or long-term situations. They're all fine. Most people are concerned about long-term than anything else. A lot of questions about when we say long-term, what do I mean? It could be months. Some people might need to take these supplements for 3 months at a time, especially the collagen beauty or the antiox beauty, before you notice any improvement. Divided doses is always best for any supplement, regardless of whether it's a multivitamin mineral, whether it's a skin support formula. If you can divide those doses of supplements throughout the day, your body's going to be getting those doses throughout the day versus just one time a day. But again, if you forget your supplements and you just take everything at once, that's fine too, as long as you're taking them on a daily basis. Stay hydrated, very important for skin related issues. In fact, I say that staying hydrated is good for everything, regardless of what health issue you suffer with. Staying hydrated and consuming enough water is good. If you don't like water, you can take, if you drink herbal tea, that's another option for getting liquid in. Water with lemon, things like that can also help. Really good for blood circulation, waste removal, and cleansing. That really helps, especially when you're taking the liver flush, because we want the liver to flush out those toxins as efficiently as possible. So if we're drinking lots of water, that will keep our system hydrated. And we can't forget that our bodies are made up at least of 75% water, if not more. So it's very important to keep ourselves hydrated, especially when we're taking a cleansing formula or supplements of any time or of any kind. Now, if you are taking medications, no need to worry. You can still take our supplements. We suggest taking our supplements 2 to 3 hours away from medications. If you're on a number of medications and you're a little concerned, please let us know. We do have a toll-free number that you can call. You'll end up speaking with me. If you don't already have my email address, you will get that tomorrow, and you can reach out at any given point in time. I'd be happy to help you with any questions that you have. Now, does anybody have any questions or anything they'd like to ask or comment on before we log off this morning? I just want to make sure I answer everybody's questions before we log off. And as I mentioned, you will get a link to the recording tomorrow, along with a copy of this presentation that you can look at or listen to in the future. So if there are no questions, I guess we will log off. I'd like to thank you for joining me this morning. It's always a privilege to be able to educate, and I hope you will join me next month. And I wish you a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me. Look forward to seeing you again in the future. Thank you, everyone. Bye.